Shout out to a million people. That is all. My life has been for a time.
Boss, gusto nila eh. Ayaw niyo pa tao sa CCTV, boss.
Ito na yun. Ito pa rin yung nag-demo.
Kuhan, Zero X Pro. Zero X Pro. Pinax, boss. Wala ka. Kung nag-vote na lang ako kay hindi na sa mataas ko. Check na ako ng diri. CD ang kuhan.
Ang problema.
Turmaon siya mo. Kuhan, bali, di lang ako sa mga kuhan. Kaya stingan ako restart siya. Start na ka system niya ba? Sakto normal dyan. Hindi ako mag-mislead ko. Pamahon siya. Diri lang mag-mislead ko. Diri dito. Right na side. Check mo muna ko diri. Wala mong gawin ko. CD mo gawin largo sa inana ng mga kuhan. I-replace na lang. Siya na rin. Hindi na diri. Diri na lang sa
Ano po?
Pero na ko ikuhan, boss. Na ako yung CD. Kabalik.
Ano ka yung CD?
Taon lang ako.
Pa-download lang niya.
Pa-download.
Sure.
So, pa-download.
Sure it lang, guys. App. Sure it lang. Or Google.
Sulit pa rin. Ayun, download. Kuha na lang sa download na lang. Ha? Apple sa pagkakawin natin at Apple. Kiss tayo?
Plastic and plastic is definitely not a perfect space. So what After about 7 minutes, come across, I don't know how to without realizing. I see a lot of
Lawat!
Idol! So kami lagi yung sila now there is a flexible where let's say we can move for somewhere. And we can have one here and not even that and there's so I'll pick up the sleep to the airport to have a look at it. If I go to the second different from the other so we're going to pick up the
sa video kanina sa baba bitaw.
and instead of doing website
you can go watch the video after this one. The main selling point of the Infinix Zero X and the Zero X Pro is definitely this 60 times periscope lens and the 108 megapixel lens on the Pro model. From a technical perspective, for you to fit in lens what you regularly see on an Infinix phone, and then previous teardown videos matter. Most people will use a heat gun for this kind of work, but personally, I don't use a heat gun, mostly not on mid-range phones that have plastic frames or plastic backs and all that, because plastic is plastic, and plastic will definitely melt or will definitely stretch when it comes to contact with heat. So I'd rather do it this way, so when I want to assemble the device together, everything will sit perfectly well. Usually to open a device like this will take me about 2 minutes maximum to open
First time niya
it. When I open the Technophant X, it took me about 2 minutes or let's say a minute and 40 seconds to take off the back glass. But this one took me over 7 or 8 minutes, and the reason is because the adhesive that is used to glue this back glass to the frame of this device is super hard. And mind you, this is the first time I'm opening this device on camera. I've not opened it, so I don't know if there are ribbon cables lying at the back of this glass. I don't know what is actually on the device. I'm being super careful not to yank off any cables and not to cut off any flex cables that I don't know about or that might prevent the device from working again. After about 7 minutes, I was able to take off the back glass of the phone. So this is the back glass. I don't know what the official gorilla rating is. I have seen a lot of them, but I'm not really sure which one is right, so I don't want to give you wrong information. But the glass feels really solid, even though it falls on the ground. So if you buy this phone, you gotta be careful. So coming back here to the main camera of the phone, you see why I had to be careful while I was taking out the back glass. Now there is a flex cable here that
They are
definitely
cool.
connects the main board to the
Pagana ni mga.
subboard.
Ayaw kagi
And
dire.
there's another one here that connects the
Netflix dire.
fingerprint reader to the main board.
Dire kagi.
So I was not careful. I went crazy in trying to fix up the glass. Then definitely yanked off one of these cables, and then some things will stop working on the phone.
Meron buksa.
So I removed the 18 screws that are holding the entire back of the phone together.
Magani na. Pilot piece. Nahinay lang.
So here's the plastic/metal plate that is holding the upper part of the phone together, and there is also a connector here for the earpiece. Here's our first look at the main board and the cameras on the carcass of the device. And if you look closely here, you observe that only the cameras alone are taking about 20 to 25% or even 30% of the total space inside the device. So I'll take out the SIM tray here for us to have a look at it. If you look closely at the SIM tray, you will notice that it's actually different from other SIM trays. It's a little bit more compact, and I think they actually designed it this way because of the little amount of space or the limited amount of space inside the device. So we're going to take off the 3 additional screws here that are holding the main board to the carcass of the phone. So you gotta be careful. So of this device is super hard. And mind you, this is the first time I'm opening this device on camera. I've not opened it before, so I don't know if there are ribbon cables lying at the back of this glass. I don't know what is actually underneath there. So I'm being super careful here not to yank off any cables or not to cut off any flex cables that I don't know about or that might prevent the device from working. After about 7 minutes, I was able to take off the back glass of the phone. So this is the back glass. I don't know what the official Gorilla rating is. I have seen a lot of them, but I'm not really sure which one is right, so I don't want to give you wrong information. But the glass feels really solid, even though it will still break if it falls on the ground. So if you buy this phone, you gotta be careful. So coming back here to the main carcass of the phone, you see why I had to be careful while I was taking off the back glass. Now there's a flex cable here that definitely connects the main board to the subboard, and there's another one here that connects the fingerprint reader to the main board. If I was not careful, I went crazy in trying to force up the glass. Then I would have definitely yanked off one of these cables, and then some things will stop working on the phone. So I'll remove the 18 screws that are holding the entire carcass of the phone together. So here's the plastic/metal plate that is holding the upper part of the phone together, and there is also a connector here for the earpiece. So here's our first look at the main board and the cameras on the carcass of the device. And if you look closely here, you observe that only the cameras alone are taking about 20 to 25% or even 30% of the total space inside the device. So I'll take out the SIM tray here for us to have a look at it. If you look closely at this SIM tray, you would notice that it's actually different from other SIM trays. It's a little bit more compact, and I think they actually designed it this way because of the little amount of space or the limited amount of space inside the device. So we're going to take off the 3 additional screws here that are holding the main board to the carcass of the phone. And we also include the network cables here. There are 2 network cables from minutes. I was able to take off. It would definitely melt or to definitely about 2 minutes or let's say a minute and 40 seconds to take off the back glass. But this one took me about 7 or 8 minutes, and the reason is because the adhesive that is used to glue this back glass to the frame of this device is super hard. And mind you, this is the first time I'm opening this device on camera. I've not opened it before, so I don't know if there are ribbon cables lying at the back of this glass. I don't know what is actually underneath there, so I'm being super careful here not to yank off any cables or not to cut off any flex cables that I don't know about. or that might prevent the device from working again. After about 7 minutes, I was able to take off the back glass of the phone. So this is the back glass. I don't know what the official Gorilla rating is. I have seen a lot of them, but I'm not really sure which one is right, so I don't want to give you wrong information. But the glass feels really solid, even though it will still break if it falls on the ground. So take off the back glass. But this one took me over 7 or 8 minutes, and the reason is because the adhesive that is used to glue this back glass to the frame of this device is super hard. And mind you, this is the first time I'm opening this device on camera. I've not opened it before, so I don't know if there are ribbon cables lying at the back of this glass. I don't know what is actually underneath there, so I am being super careful here not to yank off any cables or not to cut off any flex or that might prevent the device from working again. After about 7 minutes, I was able to take off the back glass of the phone. So this is the back glass. I don't know what the official Gorilla rating is. I have seen a lot of them, but I'm not really sure which one is right, so I don't want to give you wrong information. But the glass feels really solid, even though it will still break if it falls on the ground. So if you buy this phone, you gotta be careful. So coming back here to the main carcass of the phone, you see why I had to be careful while I was taking off the back glass. Now there is a flex cable here that definitely connects the main board to the subboard, and there is another one here that connects the fingerprint reader to the main board. So this back glass to the frame of this device is super hard. And mind you, this is the first time I'm opening this device on camera. I've not opened it before, so I don't know if there are ribbon cables lying at the back of this glass. I'm being super careful here not to yank off any cables or not to cut off any flex cables that I don't know about or that might prevent the device from working again. After about 7 minutes, I was able to take off the back glass of the phone. So this is the back glass. I don't know what the official Gorilla rating is. I have seen a lot of them, but I'm not really sure which one is right, so I don't want to give you wrong information. But the glass feels really solid. It's like this will take me about 2 minutes maximum to open it. Like when I opened the Tecno Phantom X, it took me about 2 minutes or let's say a minute and 40 seconds to take off the back glass. But this one took me over 7 or 8 minutes, and the reason is because the adhesive that is used to glue this back glass to the frame of this device is super hard. And mind you, this is the first time I'm opening this device on camera. I've not opened it before, so I don't know if there are ribbon cables lying at the back of this glass. I don't know what is actually underneath there, so I am being super careful here not to yank off any cables or not to cut off any flex cables that I don't know about or that might prevent the device from working again. After about 7 minutes, I was able to take off the back glass of the phone. So this is the back glass. I don't know what the official Gorilla rating is. I have seen a lot of them, but I'm not really sure which one is right, so I don't want to give you wrong information. But the glass feels really solid, even though it will still break if it falls on the ground. So if you buy this phone, you gotta be careful. So coming back here to the main carcass of the phone, you see why I had to be careful while I was taking off the back glass. Now there is a flex cable here that definitely connects the main board to the subboard, and there is another one here that connects the fingerprint reader to the main board. So I went crazy trying to force up the glass. Then I would have definitely yanked off one of these cables, and then some things will stop working on the phone. So I'll remove the 18 screws that are holding the entire carcass of the phone together. So here's the plastic/metal plate that is holding the upper part of the phone together, and there is also a connector here for the earpiece. So here's our first look at the main board and the cameras on the carcass of the device. And if you look closely here, you observe that only the cameras alone are taking about 20 to 25% or even 30% of the total space inside the device. So I'll take out the SIM tray here for us to have a look at it. If you look closely at this SIM tray, you notice that it's actually different from other SIM trays. It's a little bit more compact, and I think they actually designed it this way because of the little amount of space or the limited amount of space inside the device. So we're going to take off the 3 additional screws here that are holding the main board to the carcass of the phone. And we also unclip the network cables here. There are 2 network cables, one is for the first SIM and one is for the second SIM. And instead of building the Wi-Fi chip on the board or the Wi-Fi antenna on the board, just add a little Wi-Fi antenna by the side. And so this is what is able for you getting Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and other wireless connections on the device. And then now we're going to go ahead and take off the main board from the carcass of the phone so we can take a closer look at the cameras and also the board itself. So as I mentioned earlier, the board is actually a little bit smaller than what we're used to. And these camera sensors are really huge. That is why this board is so small. So we're going to unclip these lenses here and take a closer look at them. Starting off here with the 60 times periscope zoom lens. Now periscope lenses are usually used in submarines. And so it's actually great to see this technology coming to smartphones. Periscope lenses are usually large sensors. That is why if you notice devices from Samsung and Huawei that use periscope lenses, the phones always have a camera bump because they carry large periscope sensors. Next up, we're going to look at the 64 megapixel main lens. Now this is a very large sensor. That's why the images from this phone are usually super bright. According to the specs of the Infinix Zero X, the Infinix Zero X has optical image stabilization. But for some reason, the lens does not seem to have stabilization built in. So I don't know how they are actually achieving the optical image stabilization with this device. I guess I'll have to find out more. Probably there's a new technology that I'm not aware of. So moving on, this is the 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, and it actually takes very good pictures. Finally, for the cameras, this is the 16 megapixel front facing camera lens. It is a very tiny lens. So coming back here now to the main board of the device, I see that there is a lot of thermal paste all over the board, and this is unusual for an Infinix phone. We usually find thermal paste at just one spot. So I want to find out what is underneath this place that requires such an enormous amount of cooling. So after taking off the metal plate, I discovered that there are 2 chips under here. The other one is the MediaTek Helio G95, which is the chip that is powering this device. But I couldn't tell what the other chip was. But I discovered it was made by SK Hynix. And Hynix is a Taiwanese company that makes RAM, memories, and devices for companies like Samsung, Xiaomi, and the rest of them. So I went to their website and then input the chip number there. And I got to find out that this chip actually serves as the RAM and the ROM. So phone manufacturers actually use this chip when they want to save up a lot of space inside the device. They use this single chip, which is both the RAM and the ROM. And this chip is capable of up to 6 to 8 gigabytes of RAM. So in other words, this is a 2-in-1 chip. And if this chip is doing both the work of the RAM and the ROM of the device, that means it's going to be heating up. So that is why the chip requires so much cooling, and that was why there was so much thermal paste under it. Coming back to the carcass of the phone now, this is the earpiece, and one thing you're going to discover here is that it's a very tiny earpiece. This earpiece does not require a cutout at the top of the device, so that's why you won't find an earpiece grill on the Infinix Zero X. This is the same kind of earpiece technology that Samsung uses on the S series. So the next thing, we're going to take off the main speaker here. This is just a regular speaker. It sounds good, but not so good. And it's just a single firing speaker. This device does not have stereo speakers. So the next thing, we're going to take out the battery here, that 4,500 milliamps battery. And I discovered something here. Infinix actually added pull tabs to this battery, which is actually surprising because normally they don't add pull tabs, and even when they do, it doesn't work. But on the Infinix Zero X, something else has happened. It actually works.
So may sir? Wala na kapirap-girap?
So here's the 4,500 milliamps battery, and it's just a regular battery, nothing really special. So here's what the entire case of the device looks like with nothing inside. And if peradventure you want to get a screen replacement for this phone, this is how the screen is going to come. And just so you know, the screen of this phone is going to be costing somewhere between 50 to 60,000 naira, which is around $100 to $120. So if you buy this phone, you gotta be careful, or else you're gonna spend plenty of money to get it fixed. And remember, if you haven't watched the review of the Infinix Zero X, again, you can check the link down in the description, or you can check up here on the YouTube tab and go and watch the video, right? So you guys let me know down in the comments, are you really impressed with the build quality of the Infinix Zero X?
Sila isang kanta boss? 16 ka? Sila kakantay mo ba?
Ito pa, mga dancing.
Ako ano lang, boss, gold lang ba nito? Ako ano yung package?
Oo. Sabi. Di ba daw ko sa sound sarik? Kaya lyrics ko na to. Boss!
Asa, bago na eh?
Oo.
Awan niyo, ano?
Na daw?
Nani sound?
May pagkapinan mo.
Bak mo ba eh? Nakapagin ko no? Patik daw yung mga
Ha?
irisol na lang para short siya.
Ito. Pagkami. Karuan. Jadi makina. Karena sa una do kayo palit ang kulang ko.
Di man niya ako. Pahuwam na. Isbog na lang. Boss, isbog niya. Boss. Isbog ba? Yung sakyan ha? Bilos mo ba?
Lodi ka may lang sa mga house ba?
Sa... Kuwan pa mo ito? Down na?
Ha?
Mag-down.
Kapit na.
Baka nagkita pa na yung gusto ang kanta.
lang stock gani nga mga revise.
Yung remix.
Oh. Revise ka ba na?
Yes.
Awan remix na.
Ah,
Remix ko ako.
okay.
Next pa.
Hey girl, what's up? You know I'll pull.
Ang mga pagkuro nga mga one stop na itong revise ka. Ang mana to Victor? Sige. Ina.
Wala pa.
Ha? Wala.
Nasa. Kumuha man eh.
Karga na to. Wala karga ano?
Eh, nawagali itong imuhang desk ko. Ganiha, wala na makita. Mo, may pasahan eh. Kani ako aman ni Files. Masarap guys. Nawagali ni.
Ha?
Hindi mo ang nawa. Nawa na ko.
makarga?
Makargaan man, mawa lang mo. Papa, kaya mawa ang koleksyon namin.
Ano pa? Ano?
Hindi, ang problema ni kanang ako ang kuan, reader. Sa imuhang kuan, may problema. Ibat ko man na, ang ako ang reader lang. Na. Reader lang. Dito na lang ka sa... Bumasa sa kuha ang mga kamba, mga bati man gusto nga kong rider. Bati. Mas maayo itong bilis ba? Dinahiyan. Kaso sa cellphone mo ito lang. Kada, ang akyanan pang guda. Ba't di akong computer? Hindi makabasa. Wala pa mag-grade 1. Wala pa siya maka-grade 1, hindi makabasa.
Ika na kayo, boss. Kuha na lang to kay di ba order ko. Balik na kaya ako ng order.
Pero okay na yun.
Tapos si Madam Anay, si Dada ni Madam Anay, balik lang ang supplier niya. Okay?
Oo, kaya na, balik na. Mahal kayo na.
Sige, boss. Sige, boss.
Sige, sige. LCD? LCD na?
Di mo open. Bira na. Di ka cool ba?
Na-charge na eh.
Na bro di man. Kalit na ba?
Kasi global ko. Ano bat niyo? Nakay-pass niyo ba? Bora! Nasora sa nato. Basi global lang. Na-drain ba?
Ha?
Na-drain. Ang anak man, ano makautunog ma-drain?
Kung full storage, di na mapalong ano. Lang lang.
Oo, ano?
Wala na, basta sa power ba?
Napalong di palubat.
Ha?
Napalong di.
Dili luman.
Artista, maging ba din yan?
Pangadlok mo sila ka.
Saan na ngayon it?
Ha? Libo.
Libo,
Hindi din masih muna.
Y11.
Y11. Bata ko. Ang area. Sino kong tanin? Dito na ako na. Bilakuan. Bila-bila area ba?
Win at work by communicating effectively with Grammarly. Tough. He is.
I think we should explore new solutions.
Grammarly ensures Ty's confidence comes through in his writing. That way, clients see him as professional and polished every time.
Let's explore new solutions.
Meet Dylan, who's prepping for a big investor presentation.
The revenue that our business will generate will triple in the next year.
Grammarly helps Dylan rewrite his story to be clear and compelling.
Our business is ready will triple in the next year.
That's the reaction we want. And then there's Anya, drafting a global IT proposal. When unnecessary phrases slow down the writing. Grammarly helps her be concise, so her point makes an impact. 92% of professionals who use Grammarly say it's helped save them time. But what makes Grammarly such an intelligent writing tool is that it's powered by billions of user interactions. Go to Grammarly.com right there.
Get up to 3,600 pesos off with the fire sale. This server speeds at up to 100 kbps. Again, or fire button plan. 3,039. Installation and activation. Subscribe now.
Kamu kok bising?
Other guy is back because he was covered about saying, what is video? How does it video for I guess it's how it is. What this video is, we are going to the world habitat, all the habitat is all the so this is regard from the book, this is what
Bottom naman to kasi kaya ako to dati 200 ng mga idol sa pick-up na yun. Jollibee. Ano pa problema? Mo-on, mo-off, mo-on, mo-off.
Saka sa battery na.
Ha?
Basig battery na po ng problema.
Sige eh. Dili na sa mas rich.
Dili. Button na ito ako. Button na ito.
Ipuri man ito lang ako. Gayo ang button. Awa. Anong pa? Mo-on, mo-on, mo-off, mo-on, mo-off, mo-on. Ano ang problema niya dati? Ha? Wala, nabilin ko na nabalay.
ka kayo.
Download ko.
Mag-download ka? Alikat, puto na to. Ano naman, kadang magsuwak-suwak.
Wala ko memory. Memory ba? Baka sa akong charger kay advance sa lubat.